and yeah, basically very diverse and dynamic in terms of genre and theme, like both of them said. So if let's say in the previous chapters, okay, the genre, okay, or the trend can be identified, okay, such as when during the Romanticism or during the after post Civil War, okay, the work is more realistic, let's say, okay, but so it is still identifiable, right? Okay, the trend back then, okay, before the contemporary, but in the contemporary era, okay, it is difficult to pinpoint, okay, what is the main topic, let's say, okay, or the dominant one, because there is no dominant one, because everything has everything basically, okay, it's very diverse, okay, so it's hard to pinpoint what is the main thing, okay, that the author wrote, okay, no, because they talk about a lot of things, a lot of different things. So the keyword here is of course diversity, okay, diversity, okay. All right, next one. Increased interest in ethnic minority literature. Okay, so if you notice, okay, in the previous works that have been mentioned before, okay, it's very white. Okay, it is either white or black. Okay, but in the contemporary literature, okay, the spectrum of color become again more diverse. Okay, so there are a lot of ethnicity, okay, and minority, okay, that is and with their own issues, okay, that is being addressed, okay, through the stories, because there is interest, okay, to in people, okay, to know more about diversity, about how others live their life, uh, other than how they themselves live their life, okay, so they also interested, okay, in how other people live actually, okay, from different culture. So yeah, see the rise of popular genres such as science fiction, detective, thriller, and girls' romance, chick lit, as well as religious themed literature. So yeah, the genre itself is very diverse. Okay, basically, yeah, anything that you like, okay, you can find it. Okay, yeah, if you like something that is light, okay, you don't want to think much, okay, just pick, okay, the one that is, yeah, not really that uh, apa ya in terms of topic, it's not really that heavy, okay, just the for entertainment purpose, okay, it's fine, right? Okay, but if you want something heavy, okay, yeah, it is also present, okay, there too, okay. So yeah, there is everything for everybody basically, okay. And the last one, authors from foreign countries or translated works are also well received by the public. Okay, so before, the priority is of course for the people who, yeah, the people in that country itself, okay, who wrote the book, okay, but now because of globalization, okay, translated work also matter, okay, and also a lot of people also interested in it. Okay, jadi bukan cuman American literature only written by the American people, okay, but also they start to pay more attention, let's say, okay, to translated works from other countries, basically. Okay, so again, the keywords is always diversity. Okay, all right. Next one. Okay, let's talk about one of the genre. Okay, that is being mentioned in chapter 10, I guess. Okay, it is about sorry, memoir and autobiography. Okay, so the question is simple. Okay, does it still count as a work of literature? And what is the purpose of such work? Okay, all right. So will be answered by Johanna and Eugene. Please, Johanna's first.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
memoir is a nonfiction narrative in which the
Mm-hmm.
author shares their memories from a specific time period or reflects upon a
Mm-hmm.
string of theme
Mm-hmm.
occurrences throughout their life. And they
Mm-hmm.
might focus on their childhood and family, or a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual journey, or their
Mm-hmm.
experience life.
Mm-hmm.
And like a memoir, an
Mm-hmm.
autobiography is the author retelling of his or her life and told in
Mm-hmm.
first person point of view, making the author the main
Mm-hmm.
character of the story. It's frequently
Mm-hmm.
confused with autobiography, although there are some key distinctions. Like from the
Mm-hmm.
author point of view, an autobiography is
Mm-hmm.
also written, but the story covers the entire life.
Oh.
And memoir and autobiography is still count as a work of literature because
Mm-hmm.
it's still a part of genre from the literature. And
Mm-hmm.
the purpose of memoir and autobiography is to
Mm-hmm.
portray the life experience and achievements of
Mm-hmm.
the author, and the
Mm-hmm.
freedom to remember and to record an account of someone's or something particular
Mm-hmm.
set of circumstances that was very
Mm-hmm.
important, and
Mm-hmm.
to preserve those memories for
Mm-hmm.
all time.
I see. Okay. Just some follow-up question, okay, before we go to Eugene. Do you think what is written, okay, in memoir or in autobiography is accurate or not, Johanna?
I
Or rather than accurate, perhaps is it objective in your opinion? Coba, what do you think?
I think it's objective,
Mm-hmm.
sir, because it
Mm-hmm.
depends on someone's experience in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I will address it later. Okay, but we'll go to Eugene. Okay, Eugene, please.
Okay, sir, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I can't open my cam because the connection is not really good here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So memoir is a non-fiction narrative writing based
Mm-hmm.
on the
Mm-hmm.
author's personal memories.
Mm-hmm.
Autobiography is a self-written account of one's own life, written from their point of view. The
Mm-hmm.
differences between these two are that memoirs focus more at the moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Memoir is from French, that means memory. So, memoir is
Mm-hmm.
written based on what authors memorize a lot, meaning that
Okay.
it is memorable and important.
Okay.
While autobiography is a narrative that spans their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Memoir and autobiography is count as literature because they
Mm-hmm.
are two of literary genre that
Mm-hmm.
based on author's presentation of his own life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you think, again, like I said, do you think what is written, okay, in autobiography or perhaps memoir is objective or not, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's objective
Mm-hmm.
because what is written there
Mm-hmm.
is based on author's experience,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it is based on their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be different with what others think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And uh, for
Mm-hmm.
me, like
Mm-hmm.
it is objective because when the author changed something
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
about what is written, I
Mm-hmm.
think no one can really judge it because yeah, it is their
Mm-hmm.
own experience.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you, Eugene. Okay.
So
Right. Okay. So, memoir and autobiography. Okay. Maybe some of you maybe have read. Okay, some of memoir or autobiography. Perhaps someone that you admire. Okay. For example, yeah, yeah, Obama here or Robin Williams. Okay, or yeah, Malala Yousafzai. Okay, yeah, even though perhaps you don't know who they are. Okay, but yeah, of course you know. Okay, but yeah, anyway. Um, Okay, well, first the differences first. Okay, no, similarities first. Memoir and autobiography is usually about a person's life. Okay, the recounting, okay, of a person's life. But the difference is that memoir is usually a specific moment. Okay, write about the specific moment in that person's life. Okay, while autobiography is usually cover the entire life of the person. For example, until when they born, okay, until they, yeah, the point of their life, whether they dead or alive. If they're dead, then after until they're dead. If they're still alive, then yeah, until yeah, the point where the last point, okay, of they being alive. Let's say if he is 78 years old when writing the autobiography, then it is from when they born until 78 years old. Okay. So, for example, Obama, okay, an example of memoir of Obama would be when perhaps the memoir when he was become the president of the United States. So it's only focused, okay, on the events or the experience that he experienced during his presidency, okay, but it won't go into much detail, okay, about where he was born, okay, and how his childhood like, okay, it won't focus on that, okay, because it only focus on the period during his presidency, okay. And is it count as work of literature? Yes, of course, okay, it is count, okay, but it is count as nonfiction. Okay, but even just because it is called nonfiction, it doesn't mean that all the thing that is being written there, okay, is 100% is 100% accurate and 100% objective. On the contrary, it is because most of them perhaps it is recounting their own experience. Okay, they would forget a lot, they would mismatch memories a lot, okay, but what had happened, because after all it has happened in the past, right? So actually instead of objective, it is actually highly subjective, right? Because yeah, memories, okay, memories is unreliable, okay. So there's no way that autobiography or memoir would be 100% objective, because there would be something that the author, okay, would add. Maybe if there's a success, maybe they would add some exaggeration maybe on how they reach their success. And if they fail or making some kind of mistakes, okay, perhaps they would cover perhaps the mistakes, okay, or making excuse about it, okay, or perhaps just omit it altogether, let's say, okay, in the memoir or biography. Let's say they have an affair. There's no way that they would mention that, right? Especially if the person have a good image, let's say, in public. Okay, of course they would exclude a lot of things that is unfavorable for them. Okay, so to say autobiography or memoir is objective, okay, perhaps not really that accurate. Okay, because it is actually very subjective. Okay, kind of literary works. Thank you, Eugene and Johanna. Move on to number 6. What is flash fiction and how is it different with short story, and how does such work reflect the change on how people read story presently? Okay. Johanna and then Esther. Johanna's first, please.
Okay, so for number
Mhm.
6, fast fictions is a shorter versions of a short story, and it's a genre of fictions, and it can be anywhere from 100 and to 1,000 words, or even less than or even 1,050 1,500 words there, while short stories are defined as 100 1,000 to 10,000 words. And think of flash fictions as a punchy and to the point, a story of extreme brevity with the plot pared down to the core of the story, and every detail, every character gesture, every description counts, and each word has its place. And for short story, it's a brief fictional prose narrative, and it's different from flash fictions. Short stories may take a couple of sittings to read, and there is more space to develop ideas, plot, character, and theme. And there is at most one plot and a small subplot or a plot and a half. While flash fiction should not be more than one plot and one theme. And how it reflects the changing way people read stories nowadays. Okay, I think it's based on my opinion. I think people nowadays science fictions and prefers more like when they read the works, it feels more interesting when a literary work can convey deep roots and universal human emotions in just a few short paragraphs. When done well, short fictions can convey profound truths and resonate with readers from all walks of life.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Sorry.
Yes, that's it, sir.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
That's it,
okay.
sir.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. Esther.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Then.
My answer is not too different from Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
What is flex fiction?
Mm-hmm.
Fiction is a story of less than 1,000 words, a
Mm-hmm.
pocket-sized burst of
Mm-hmm.
creativity to get
Mm-hmm.
the mind weaving and pulling the reader into a concise narrative. So sometimes this is difficult, of course, but a fun and unique way to collect ideas and challenge
I see.
your writing ability.
Mm.
So, how is it different with a short story? So, a short story is exactly what it says on the tin. A wall story created and written in much smaller word count compared to a novel or novella.
Yeah.
And many short stories can be read in just one sitting, and while have characters and plot like other longer narrative, so this tend to be less developed and the short word count. So it's like uh, it normally deals with just one time mode or issue through the story, and it will usually have one singular plot instead of the subplots in many novels. So um, uh, we can have as many characters as we want. However, this might confuse reader and be difficult to fit in. So, and
Okay.
how does such
Mm.
works reflect the change on how people
Mm.
read story recently? So, I think maybe like pocket-sized bursts of creativity to get mind-wearing and plunge the reader into a consistent narrative. So sometimes uh, it's difficult, but it's the way, fun and unique way to collect ideas and challenge our writing or reading ability.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, the first part, okay, is okay, but when you answer, when you mention about the how does such work reflect the change, okay, itu mulai shaky, ya, mulai gak nyambung, okay. But anyway, okay, thank you. All right. So yeah, flash fiction. It has something to do with. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you, Johanna and Esther. Okay, so yeah, basically, both of them have mentioned it correctly. Okay, so it is a kind of story that is shorter than even short fiction. Okay, when it comes to word counts, okay, it could be like less than 100, okay, or perhaps just 100, or even some, okay, in just few words, okay, maybe, okay, it is possible sometimes, okay, and such stories perhaps is becoming more popular because, well, uh, as we get, maybe have more uh, technological development, let's say, okay, where everything's supposed to be fast, okay, well, sometimes people doesn't really have time, or rather the willingness, okay, to read, story, okay, a long story, okay, a novel, or perhaps a short story, okay, perhaps you can relate to, right, okay, maybe in the OPEC class, okay, when Ibu Hyangli, let's say, give you a short story that is, yeah, short, okay, maybe just a few pages, okay. Perhaps for you, okay, it's very, very demanding for you, okay, because you are not used to read, okay, such stories, okay, even if the story is just a few pages, because you are used to uh, short message, maybe, okay, like, for example, like Insta story, okay, or TikTok right now, okay, it becomes, like shorter and shorter, like, and let's say caption, okay, in whatever social media that you use, okay, it has to be short, right, perhaps because of that, okay, because you are exposed to such things, okay, it makes you like demanding, okay, about, yeah, if you want to say something, say it, okay, in just a concise manner, okay, do not go around and around, okay, basically. So that's the change, okay, that is being reflected in the fast fiction, okay, because it also reflects how the society consume things. They want to consume things even shorter and shorter and shorter, okay. They don't have time or willingness to really read, okay, a lot of things, basically, right? But is it better though? Okay, questionable. Okay, but yeah, it definitely reflect how people, the short attention span that a lot of people have these days. okay, including me, of course, yeah, and you as well, perhaps. All right, thank you. Next one. Okay, this is one example of class fiction. Okay, uh, it is definitely less than 100 words. Okay, you can read it in just 1 minute. Okay, try to read it. Okay, right now. And I will pick one random people here. Okay, perhaps M1. Okay, just read it if when you done. Just respond when you done reading it. Okay, so M1 from this story. Okay, what did you get? What is the story about?
Um, from my uh, understanding
Mm-hmm.
from this class fiction,
Mm-hmm.
so I think this tells a story about uh, a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
homeless man who is sleeping in the
Mm-hmm.
park.
Mm-hmm.
So because the street lights and park
Mm-hmm.
bench,
Mm-hmm.
that's where he sleep. He
Mm-hmm.
wears the wool blanket
Mm-hmm.
from the Salvation Army,
Mm-hmm.
and then he got a pair of shoes that he found in the dumpster. So I thought
Mm-hmm.
it's about the life
Mm-hmm.
of the homeless man, and
Homeless. Mm-hmm.
he thought isn't life grand. I
Mm-hmm.
think he feels like felt I mean what is bersyukur I
Yeah.
yeah bersyukur
Grateful, grateful.
grateful for
Yeah.
his life.
Even though, yeah, he's homeless, okay, and yeah, he has, yeah, perhaps not, doesn't have any luxurious stuffs, okay, but he's grateful for it. Okay. All right. Thank you, M1C. Okay. So, the message is simple, okay, and you can get the message, okay, in such um short amount of time, right? Okay, without a lot of description about who the character is, okay, and a lot of characterization, okay, you get, okay, what the Andrew E. Hunt wants to say, okay, for us to be grateful, because if, let's say, a homeless people could be grateful, why can't you, right? Basically, so it is the example, one example of fast fiction. Okay, the second one. Okay, this is the second one. The title is Nightly Visit. Nightly Visit. Okay. Mm, try to read it. Okay, I think you can read it in uh, I guess 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes is enough, I think. Okay, and then I will pick a person to tell me what he or she got after reading this flash fiction, Nightly Visit. Okay. Okay. As you still read it, okay, let me pick one person. Uh, just answer me, okay, when you're done reading it, okay? Naomi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Please. Have you have you done reading it? No,
Wait,
or
sir.
not yet. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I think
Mm-hmm.
on my understanding,
Yes.
uh, this is about
Mm-hmm.
So like a mother
A mother.
that lost her child,
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
and then like she
She.
she hallucinated that her child is
Oh.
coming to her in the night,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and then
Mm-hmm.
she realized that it's just
Mm-hmm.
her imagination.
Mm. Okay. All right. Thank you, Naomi. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, actually, there are several way, okay, for you to interpret the story. Okay, if you like horror film, okay, perhaps you can interpret the the child there, okay, to be like a literal ghost. Okay, if you like, okay, to interpret it that way. Okay, but because after all, right, it is called nightly visit, right? Okay, what visit you in at night? Okay, perhaps most likely ghost. Okay, of a child maybe that you lost, right? And but yeah, if like Naomi, okay, if you like to, let's say, delve into psychological from psychological view, okay, yeah, perhaps the mother, okay, lose her child and from time to time still imagine, okay, that her her child's still alive, it, and that's why yeah, at least for her, okay, it seems real. Okay, but then when she tries to touch the child, yeah, she only touch air. Right? Even in such a short amount of words like this, okay, there are a lot of things that you can interpret. There are a lot of things that you can speculate. Okay, and perhaps it really stimulate your imagination, basically. Okay, so yeah, uh, a good story doesn't really have to be wordy, right? Okay, you can tell a good story with as few words as possible as well. Okay, for example, a story like this. Okay, all right. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's move on to the creative nonfiction on fast fiction. This is the explanation, just a bit. Okay, so both of them, okay, creative nonfiction such as memoir and autobiography are also popular during the period due to celebrity culture because we worship celebrity, we worship idol. That's why such book exists in the first place. Okay, because we are kepo, we want to know if successful people, okay, how their road to success, okay, how, okay, and the life of celebrity, how celebrity live their life, and so on and so forth. Okay, and memoir is nonfiction work about the person's life that cover again specific time in their life. For example, Obama's memoir when he was a president. And autobiography usually cover the person's entire life in chronological order. Okay. Yeah, both could be written by the person or by hired author. Autobiography is not necessarily, even though the name is author, okay, it's not necessarily have to be written, okay, by the author herself or himself. Okay, it only means, okay, that uh it still counts as biography if, let's say, the author is incapable of writing, okay, can only dictate, okay, or yeah, basically the author doesn't have ability to write, so he hire, yeah, a writer, okay, to when he or she dictate the story, and the writer or the author, yeah, write the story in comprehensive way. Seperti itu. Ya. Alright. Due to publicity, some part of such work may be underplayed or exaggerated, not entirely fact. Okay. Jadi bisa ada yang ditutupin, bisa ada yang dilebih-lebihkan. While a short story or flash or sudden fiction also appear due to short span attention of the readers and easy to share nature through email or text or web app or social media. Okay. All right. Next one. Okay, number 7. Okay, in your opinion, why do you think literary works written by the ethnic minorities other than African American was difficult to find in the previous periods, even though the US is such a diverse country since its conception? Okay, this will be answered by Faye and May. Running. Okay, Faye first, please.
I think because African American are not
Mhm.
related, are more related than ethnic minorities literature. As we know, the characteristics of African American literature are concerned for identity, freedom, and independence of their position in a society that is dominant and anti-slavery. This was so suitable because at that time there were a lot of slavery, black people, and the differences. That's why there was racism and different treatment. So I think African American literature characteristic already covers the diversity to fix the negative things that at the moment.
Oh, so you think like the work by African American is already representing, let's say, okay, the other ethnic minority, okay, other not just African American, but representing other ethnic minority. Yeah, okay, okay. How about May? Hello. Yes. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. 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 I see. Okay, thank you, May. All right. So yeah, okay. Maybe because the minority is often ignored. Okay, that's why the literary work is also ignored. Okay, and according to Faye, yeah, because African American already represented the other ethnic minorities, so other ethnic minority is no longer needed. That's not necessarily true. Okay, but yeah, basically, okay, the main reason, okay, is actually more simple than you thought. Actually, okay, the main reason is of course money. Okay, it's all about the money. Okay, so why a lot of ethnic minority writing, okay, is largely ignored. Okay, because a lot of publishers at that time think that they won't sell. Okay, there are no interest, okay, for people to buy such book. Okay, uh, after all, okay, they are a story of minority, right? So they would think that, okay, even if there are somebody who will buy, okay, the book, okay, it will be just from those group of people, okay, other group of people who wouldn't be interested. Okay, so in other words, okay, even if they, let's say, publish the work, okay, it won't sell much, jadinya not cuan basically. Okay, so that's why a lot of publisher at that time usually refuse, okay, to publish work or literary work from ethnic minority group, okay, because it simply won't sell enough. Of course, we all know that it isn't true. Okay, but uh, but but then why African American work is being published even though they are ethnic minority? Because African American is the biggest ethnic minority in America, and there are a lot of them. That's why if let's say they publish the story of African American, it will sell. Okay, even if only the African American who buy it, okay, it will still sell a lot. Okay, so that's why it is different with African American compared to other ethnic minority group in America. So actually, the reason is that simple. Actually, okay, but what May said is actually makes sense also. Okay, because yeah, the story of ethnic minority. Okay, nobody cares about it. Okay, and that's why it is largely ignored, especially by the publisher. Okay. Right, number 8. What kind of issues which commonly present in the work of literature written by ethnic minority or immigrant? Okay, it will be answered by Eugene and Ojan, please. Eugene first.
Can you hear me, sir? Okay, so what kind of issues which commonly present in the work of literature written by ethnic minority or immigrant? Literature in the form of poetry, short story,
Poetry.
novel, and dramas has been produced by a growing a number of ethnic minority authors.
Sure.
The issues that is brought are language and lack of access to translation services when accessing health and care service, racial discrimination, including when accessing health and care services, and gender discrimination, and also social isolation.
Social isolation. Okay.
Yes, that's it, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Uh, yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, quite short. Okay, but yeah, okay. The one that stands out is discrimination, gender discrimination, and also ya itu doang. Gitu ya. Yang lainnya kok kesan kayak nggak terlalu nyambung sih. Ya, anyway. Ojan.
So can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please, Ojan.
Okay, so what kind of issue which commonly present in the works of literature written by ethnic minority or immigrant? So the general issue is they mostly talk about like language barriers, issues, cultural, ethnic, and national identity, racism, and assimilation. But of course, there's many ethnic minority there in the US.
Sure, yeah.
And yeah, some of them actually wrote a different issue. For example, in like the Latin America or the Caribbean, they mostly talk about like the beauty of their island and like the aspect of immigration that the culture shock, the assimilation also. And, for the Asian, the Indian American, from what I've what is it? From what I gathered, and conclude, they mostly talk about the uh woman. It's mostly about female
women issues.
Female centric literature, like the story of like an illegal immigrant.
I see.
And then like the girl who like seek her roots there, and something like that. And like the some also talk about like yeah, so yeah, basically that their experience there, how they find their roots there, and something like that.
Okay. All
And
right.
uh, there's one more, sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, I thought you were done. Sorry. Yeah. One more. Okay.
And
Please.
for the Korean American,
Uh-huh.
is I think I find it more different than the other
Yeah.
minority, because they mostly talk about uh when the when Kor when Japan colonized Korea,
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
like
Mm-hmm.
for example, one actor and
Uh-huh.
one author,
Author. Uh-huh.
uh he explores like the atrocity of the Japanese use of like Korean comfort women,
Yeah, I see. Okay.
and
Um,
one of actor too also, she also like talk about how the Koreans were suffering under the Japanese occupying forces.
I see. So they also address some specific historical
Yeah,
points, okay,
yes, of
that they
their
experience. I see. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ojan. All right. Right. So the one that they mentioned, okay, basically yeah, diversity, identity, racism, language barriers, and basically, yeah, their experience to fit in into the new country, and their experience as immigrant. Okay, also like Eugene mentioned, discrimination as well as okay, there's discrimination based on race or perhaps gender. Okay, also apply. I see. Okay. Right. So, yeah, this is some of the example. Okay, if you can read the name. Okay, John Okada. Just from the name, it is Japanese American. Randy Ribay. Okay, is actually Filipino or Pinoy American. Okay, and Akhil Sarma. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Arab American. Okay, right. So the common issues that is being addressed in such uh, story. That case that of course, like Ojan said, identity because they sometimes trap okay between okay their roots okay and their American identity, let's say as American, and also race and ethnic diversity focus on the fact that even though they are Asian, okay, people will see them as only in the umbrella term Asian, okay, but they want to emphasize on even from that umbrella term Asian, there are a lot of variety, okay, of culture or roots, okay, that is different with one another, distinctly different, okay, and cultural clash, like Ojan said, okay, and how the Western perhaps and their roots culture, okay, clash like can be seen with in Minari also, okay, between the Verma and David, okay, mixed marriage also one of the common issues addressed, okay, when Westerners married ethnic minority, okay, not a lot of them is being approved, okay, by society. Also generational gap between the Korean American, let's say for example Korean American who born in America and the Korean American the first generation who born in Korea, of course they have you know generation gap, okay, on how they see things, okay, stereotypes, racial stereotypes, usually immigrant experience, discrimination, and discrimination like Eugene and Ojan mentioned, okay, immigrant experience and discrimination as well. Oke, jadi common issue-nya written by ethnic minority ya, kurang lebih kayak gini sih. Okay, basically it reflects ya what their experience, okay, living in America as ethnic minority. Okay, those things. Okay, number 9. Let's go to Audrey and then after that Tania. Naomi. Okay. Audrey, please. Have you read the poem?
Yes, sir. I already read the.
Do you understand it? Because
To be honest, I don't understand it.
Okay, but just try to, yeah, I don't know. Okay, what do you got? Okay.
So what I try to understand from the poem is
Mm-hmm.
social issues in the U.S. That the poem tries to address. On my own view, that there's people in the San Francisco like calling people queer because like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like uh they're weird because they're gay, and
Mm-hmm.
like they're also like one store that uh
Mm-hmm.
the store is like selling like sex products.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like if the poem styles, it says like they're selling winners dildos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
uh that's that's the only thing that I understand from my own future. It's too hard for me this
It's
time.
too hard. Okay. Just the thing that you got is sex toy only. Okay. Okay. Anyway. How about Naomi? Yeah, please.
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on my understanding,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the poem is trying to address issues about um, stereotypes and identity
Mm-hmm.
of uh, uh, being a person.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Being a person, what kind of person?
I mean, uh, uh,
Yeah, you
like
can just say.
people,
Uh-huh.
like at that time,
Uh-huh.
people is not really open-minded,
Okay.
and like so, if you're openly gay,
Gay, right?
people
Mm-hmm.
like discriminate you
Yeah.
because there's stereotypes that
Mm-hmm.
a man should be
Mm-hmm.
with a woman,
Sure. Yeah.
and then so like if you express your feelings towards
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
the same gender
Mm-hmm.
as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
um it means that people doesn't accept you,
Mm-hmm.
and that matter
Mm-hmm.
uh become rude doings that people
Mm-hmm.
do to the minority.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Mm-hmm.
she said that uh like throw the hot dog, like
Mm-hmm.
so like strangers threw hot
Throw
dog
hot
to
dog.
her
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
she's a gay, openly
Mm-hmm.
gay,
Mm-hmm.
and then uh um
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's about the stigma that
Mm.
public see,
Yeah.
that menghasilkan that
Mm.
actions
Which,
happen.
yeah, which resulted in such action.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Mm-hmm. Because of the stigma about homosexual mostly. Okay.
yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Naomi. Right. Okay. So yeah, mostly of course. Okay. Just from the title "Gay Basher." Okay. Uh, Bashing something. Okay, it means that you insulting. Okay. Do some insulting action. Okay, toward a person. Okay. So yeah, of course, this poem, okay, is looking things from the perspective of a gay, okay, or a group of gay people, okay, who is being just see it not don't see it as a okay, which is of course those kind of treatment, okay, is quite common, okay, especially if you live in a place where yeah, being gay is not really acceptable, right? Okay, and yeah, first of all, it wants to show, okay, that yeah, a lot of people, okay, yeah, cannot accept, okay, of people being gay. Even strangers could do such rude things, okay, to other people, yeah, just because they are gay or queer, okay. So one of the point that interesting is that if you see stanza 2 and 3, Joseph pitied the fools who buys a perfectly good pack of wieners and drives around San Francisco checking them at gays, and who sped off missing the point, the pleasure of bash, dear bashers, you should see in the hot dog hit my neck. So it wants to show that um, even the one who did the action, okay, is not really, it's actually the one who show cowardice, right? Because they can only throw and then run, right? They don't have the courage to even face the gay, okay, that they are supposed to hate, right? So it shows that, yeah, so, the poet trying to show that, yeah, such action is actually shows that the people who bash, okay, the gays is actually a coward because they just run, right? They don't even, face. They don't even see, okay, that the hot dog hit the face, right? Hit the neck, right? And then after that, okay, he said that Joy and Rusty and Bob make fun of the gay basher, and I wash my scarf in the sink. I use Wooliet. We worry about insurance, interest rates, not hot dogs thrown from F-150s. Itu mobil, okay. Homophobic freaks. After the bashing, we use the ATM. It tries to show that the thing that gay people worried is actually the same with what other people's worried about, such as insurance, interest rates, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it wants to try to show that there is actually similarities, okay, between the gay people with the rest of the people. Maybe the only difference is that, yeah, they like people from the same gender, but with other things, not really that different. Okay, so yeah, that's what the poem trying to say. Okay, wants to show, yeah, about the what gay basher really is, basically, okay, the action as well as the how the similarities actually between gay people and non-gay people. Anyway, now we come to the last one. Audrey lagi. Okay, I hope you understand this one better. And then May. Okay, how about it, Audrey?
So this time I a little bit understand, sir.
Oh, ini lebih ngerti. Okay, good. Okay. So,
So I think the poet is from America Latin, and then the social issues that the poem tries to address in regards of immigrant in the US, that they seems have some difficulty like to speak the language itself because they come from different kinds of countries that immigrant to the US, and
sure.
there is like one line from the poems where it said, my tongue is divided into two. What I understand is like the speakers, they just not speak their own native language, but also they try to speak English language itself. And because like they're different. Yeah, that's it, sir.
Oh, okay. Jadi literally, okay, try to say that it is hard for them to speak their native language and English language. Yeah, in a way, yeah, it is true. Okay. How about May? The last one. Yes. KK, yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Right. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. Mm-mm. 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 Mm. Okay. Mm-mm. 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 Thank you. Very good. Yes. Okay. So the tongue here, yeah, can be interpreted as language. Yes. Okay. Yeah. If you are immigrant, of course, you will be struggle. Okay, to speak in your native tongue. Okay, and your English. Let's say if you live in America, right? But then it is not. It is actually more than just the language. Okay, it's actually about how the way you live. Okay, your identity. Okay, as well as how the value that you have. Okay, sometimes it is in constant battle, right? Because if people immigrant usually have this conflict because they live okay in environment that is so American, but in their family okay they being raised according yeah, to the culture of their original country, which in this case KKL Palace come from El Salvador, one of the countries in South America. Okay, so that's why there is also like May said constant battle between the identity of him being American and then him being an El Salvadoran. Okay, but in the end, like she said as well, okay, in the end he got the conclusion that even those struggle, okay, that he felt, okay, is also part of him. Okay, it is a part of both of them is his identity, both American and El Salvadoran, and both instead of choosing one of them, okay, like divided into two, okay, he tries to embrace both of them through acceptance, like May said. Very good. Yes. Okay, thank you, May. Oke, sekarang saya cuma mau ngingetin kamu. Oke, that's the end of the discussion. Thank you very much for all the answers. That's the last time that you will have to do these kinds of things, this discussion, except if you repeat the class. Okay, and I don't want that, so please pay attention to this. Okay, so no more meeting. Okay, proper in class proper, whether it is online or on site. Okay, but please submit your last written assignment and your individual project after this. Okay, jadi emang udah nggak ada apa-apa lagi. Okay, in terms of class, tapi tolong don't forget to submit the three the three assignments that you have to do. Okay, the film review of Minari, the last written assignment, and then the project for UAS. Okay, dan sorry itu harusnya individual slash pair, bukan cuma individual project. Okay, and then pay attention to the deadline on both assignments. Okay, jadi mau yang Minari, mau yang written assignment, itu juga yang project, please pay attention to the deadline. Jangan sampai kelewat. If you miss one of them, okay, it will affect your score or grade quite significantly. Okay, so pay attention to that. Okay. All right, and just a reminder, okay, please no cheating, okay, especially during the last written assignment. Just make it yourself, please, okay, and then no plagiarism. If you take any reference, okay, just put it in the bibliography or reference part. Okay, do not claim it to be you are the one who make those statements. Okay, just admit it. Okay, that's it, guys. Okay, for today's meeting. Sorry if